5 years have now passed since Vinicius Jr. made the bold move from the famous Brazilian club Flamengo to the European powerhouse Real Madrid, a transfer that at the time raised many eyebrows but has since proven to be transformative for both the player and the footballing worlds of South America and Europe. In this relatively short span, Vinicius has grown from a promising teenager into one of the most electrifying talents in world football, a player whose game-changing presence has left an undeniable mark on the sport across continents. His statistics alone speak volumes about his evolution and impact. With 59 goals and 64 assists in 225 appearances for Real Madrid so far, he has established himself as a constant threat to any defense, combining lightning-fast acceleration with intelligent shifts in tempo and a steadily sharpening end product. He torments defenders with his fearless dribbling and decisive runs, and his contribution to Real Madrid's triumph in the 2022 Champions League final, when he scored the winning goal against Liverpool, cemented his status as a big-game player capable of delivering when it matters most. Yet, Vinicius' influence extends far beyond the Santiago Bernabéu. Back home in Brazil, the ripple effects of his early transfer have reshaped the market for young talent. When Real Madrid forked out approximately €45 million for a 16-year-old who had yet to play senior football, critics scoffed at what seemed an excessive price tag, perhaps driven by the fear of missing out on the next Neymar. In hindsight, that investment looks like a bargain that has inspired other European giants to scout and secure South America's brightest prospects while they are still teenagers. Flamengo, Vinicius' boyhood club, learned to capitalize on this trend better than most. His move became a blueprint for a sustainable transfer model, and the financial windfall from his departure, and that of players like Lucas Paqueta, gave Flamengo the resources to re-establish themselves as Brazil's dominant force. Before Vinicius left in 2018, Flamengo had only tasted major domestic success twice in a decade, winning the Domestic Cup in 2013 and claiming an unexpected league title in 2009. In the years since, they have won the Brazilian League in 2019 and 2020 and lifted the prestigious Copa Libertadores trophy in 2019 and again in 2022. With the funds generated by high-profile transfers like Vinicius' deal, Flamengo were able to attract players who may not have thrived in Europe but could become stars back home, such as striker Gabriel Barbosa, affectionately known as Gabigol, whose move from Internazionale epitomizes this strategy. Without the cash injection from Vinicius' sale, Gabigol's arrival and the club's resurgence might not have been possible. Vinicius himself still feels a deep bond with Flamengo and the community that nurtured his talent. On breaks from his European career, he has been seen at the Maracana, passionately supporting his old team from the stands, likely reflecting on both the good and tough times he experienced there. Brazilian football is notorious for its love-hate relationship with its young stars, often elevating them to hero status only to tear them down at the first sign of struggle. Vinicius was no exception. Before he had a chance to prove himself fully, critics back home were quick to compare him to Negeba, another Flamengo winger who was deemed a disappointment after failing to meet lofty expectations. The comparison was not only unfair but tinged with racial undertones, as the nickname Negeba, and the diminutive, Negubina, used for Vinicius, carried derogatory implications in certain contexts. Growing up in the underprivileged neighborhood of São Gonçalo, Vinicius faced challenges that extended beyond the pitch. Determined to give back, he has founded an educational institute in his community that focuses on empowering local youth through education with an emphasis on Afro-Brazilian culture and identity, aiming to provide the kind of support he wishes he had. Meanwhile, in Spain, Vinicius' steadfast stand against the racism he has faced on and off the field has forced the country to confront an uncomfortable reality within its stadiums and broader society. His refusal to stay silent and his vocal fight for respect and equality have made him an influential figure beyond football, highlighting his courage and commitment to social change. As he steps into the next chapter of his career, Vinicius is embracing new challenges with open arms. He will now wear the iconic number 7 shirt for Real Madrid, a number previously worn by club legends and most recently by Karim Benzema, with whom Vinicius formed a lethal attacking partnership. Benzema's departure means Vinicius must now shoulder more responsibility, leading the front line with even greater authority. A similar shift appears likely on the international stage too. At the last World Cup, Vinicius was more of a supporting act to Neymar, but the coming years will probably see Brazil build their team around his exceptional skills and attacking instincts. If his first 5 years in Europe surpassed expectations, then the next 5 promise to be even more remarkable. Whether through his blistering runs, decisive goals, community work back home, or his defiance against racial abuse, Vinicius Jr. has already left a legacy that goes far beyond what many imagined when he first set foot in Madrid. And with so much of his career still ahead of him, there is every reason to believe his story is only just beginning.